Hi everybody, this is Teddy Burris, your LinkedIn coach and trainer, and today I'm going to share with you some of the big changes that have happened in LinkedIn that you need to be paying attention to so you can get the greatest value out of LinkedIn. Number one, LinkedIn search results have been minimized, specifically in the context of searching in LinkedIn for connections of your connections. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look at my buddy Randy Wooden, he and I share 1,100 connections on LinkedIn. Now, if I click on that, it only shows 997. Here's another one. Kim Williams, another buddy of mine, professional in my town, we share 1,066. Look what happens when I click on that. It caps at 996. Let me give you one more. Here's another one. Alan Younger, another professional connection of mine in my town, we share 1,193. When I click on mutual connections, it only shows 996. LinkedIn is limiting the number of connections that you can see of your connections of. If I was to even go and say I want to see second level, it's still going to be less than 1,000. Every single person that I'm connected to, when I looked at connections of, I can only see up to 1,000. And if I'm looking at first level or second level, I can only see up to 1,000. Number two, the people you may know page has been re-engineered, and now it's a recommendation page of people, groups, company, and hashtags. Let me show you what I mean. Under my network is where you'll see this. Below the invitations, and here it is right here, recommended for you, people, groups, companies, hashtags, no longer just people. And another change you'll notice throughout lots of areas of LinkedIn, instead of list, they have what I refer to as gallery images, with the image, the name, the headline showing mutual connections, and then the proverbial connect button. Number three, when you're viewing any of your LinkedIn groups, you'll notice in the left-hand column is a navigation options, and this lets you go to your recent groups, all of your groups, and if you're in management for that group, you'll have the management button. Let me show you what I mean. However you get to your groups page, the moment you click on a group, this is the group discussion that's going on, and you'll notice over here you have the same basic information on the right, but you'll notice on the left that I can manage this group because I am a manager, and here's my recent groups. Not sure why hashtags up there, that's interesting, that my recent groups and conversations. And then here's all of my groups, and click on show more to get the entire list, and show more to get even more in that screen. But then you have your hashtags down below. So you can manage a group, and I can quickly jump to another group. And again, there's the conversation or the discussion in that group, and then here's my groups that I can get to, and I can go to another group. This is really useful, and the intent is to try to keep us to stay in groups and then go into other groups and do work. I like the idea. So I combine number 4 and number 5 changes that have happened because they are tied together, even though they are independent. And that is this: LinkedIn has given us a better tool set or better functionality to manage our email privacy. So our email can be hidden or shown to whoever we want group-wise on LinkedIn, and by default your email address is no longer included in the data archive. So this is pretty cool. Let me show you what I mean. Get to this under settings and privacy. It's under privacy, who can see your email address right here, and you can see I let my first degree see my email address, but I can make it hidden, make it only first degree, first and second, or anyone. I have that option. And here's where you can opt in, because again, by default it's turned off, so that my email address is no longer included in my data export unless I turn this on. I like this. I'm disappointed that I'm not able to email everybody I'm connected to on LinkedIn anymore, but I do understand the importance for privacy. Number 6, you will notice, hopefully you've been in LinkedIn enough to notice the homepage navigation has changed. And on the left-hand side, you have more analytics. You have your company page access and some basic analytics. You have your LinkedIn groups listed and your hashtags listed. Let me show you what I'm talking about in case you haven't seen it. Okay, on the LinkedIn homepage, here's my name, my headline. Here's the basic analytics information I was talking about. That's been there for a while. But then you'll also see here's my company page, and I can change this to different company pages because I have multiple company pages. And then you can see here's the basic notifications, the recent number of visitors. Pretty interesting. Go straight to share and update. Here are my groups, the recent and all groups, and here's hashtags, which used to be called communities. Just a little bit easier to access to some of this information from the LinkedIn homepage. Number 7 is now you can see group activity not only in your notifications, but also within your news feed. Again, LinkedIn trying to get us to get back into groups, so it's giving us the notifications of activity in our news feed and notifications. Demonstrating group activities in your news feed and under notifications is going to be hard for me to do. Primarily because I don't have that much activity going on in my groups yet. However, I have seen an uptick. Nothing grandiose, but I have seen some new activity in some of my groups. I've seen it in the notifications and the news feed. Nothing grandiose, but I have hope. Number 8, company page content suggestions. Now I like this. This is pretty interesting. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You'll notice that I'm in admin view. I can switch to go to view as a member if I wish. So here I'm looking at the page and you can see this little navigation bar right here. Here's content suggestions, analytics, activity, and admin tools for editing the page. But if I go to content suggestions, watch this. So you can see that I can choose an industry. I can choose filter by content that all LinkedIn members have shared, or just page followers have shared, or just my employees. You can also see I can change for the different topics. So I can put, if I want to, I can put sales up here and get sales, sales prospecting, sales development. And you'll have to do a little research to find out the different topics that you want to include or exclude from your search. You can change the industry if you want. You can change the location of where are these individuals who shared this content that you're going to look at and consider. You can change the job function of the individuals who shared this content and the seniority of these individuals. So then you can decide, once it shows you this content, do I want to include or share this content to my company page? So there's the share button right there. When you click on it, it's going to share directly to your company page. Remember, always tell your viewer why you are sharing it and why it would be beneficial to them before you hit the post button. I like the content suggestions. It really does help us overcome this problem we have of always having to look for new content. Here's number 9. Communities are now really referred to as hashtags, but hashtags are getting a lot of traction in LinkedIn and a lot of attention by LinkedIn. So you can include your hashtags in your posts, your articles, your company page posts. You can even use hashtags in comments and group discussions, even though I don't really know that they're indexed. I haven't proven that yet. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So hashtags are displayed over here, and pretty much anywhere you see your groups, you'll see your followed hashtags. Again, this used to be called communities, but that's pretty much phrase is pretty much going away. I can see all the hashtags that I'm following now, and I can also have a discover more button, so I can go to LinkedIn's discover more. Watch this. And really interesting that LinkedIn shows us the hashtags that are popular and have, how many followers, 45,000 followers on endorsements. That's pretty wild. And so we could just go scroll through and find, where there's lots of hashtags that have lots of followers. I will offer to you as a content marketer, you should pay attention to hashtags that have huge followers, because those are probably where you want to produce content relevant to that topic and then tag it with that hashtag. Pretty interesting thought there. I'm going to do some more research on that. But back from the home page, show you how easy it is just to find hashtags. If I can do a hashtag sales leadership and just look for that right there. That's a content search icon. And so here's sales leadership. I am following that right now. I'd like to see how many people are following that. It'd be interesting to show that right here. But anyway, here's all the posts. Not sure exactly how far back this goes, but these are all the people who are sharing content with the hashtag right here under Kurt's share, sales leadership, in the discussion or in the post. So you want to, if you want to search for conversations that are going on LinkedIn, search for hashtags manufacturing. And I just did a search for manufacturing. There's other things that showed up, but I can go right here and say, just click on that and go look at it. 7,000 followers for manufacturing. And here are all the posts that have the hashtag manufacturing in the post somewhere. Pay attention to what hashtags you're following. Follow those that are important and useful to you. And maybe more importantly, if you're trying to produce and develop a brand of your own, start sharing your own content with the hashtags that are relevant to that content, and maybe get into the hashtag conversations where there are lots of followers. Number 10, LinkedIn search homepage has been redesigned. They're using more of the gallery images. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when you go to LinkedIn search, just by going up here and clicking in the search bar and clicking on the search icon, then it brings you to this page right here, and it shows my connections. And again, in the gallery image form, people at my company, again, gallery image. And then the last one is people who also went to the University of Maryland. The moment I click over here and type anything, the application is going to condense the content down into the list form for you to be able to get through as many as you can on this page. I like the gallery style. I think it's interesting. I like the gallery display. I think it's interesting. I think it adds a little bit more graphically pleasing presentation, especially if they had pictures. However, I do understand that for footprint and for page delivery, sometimes you got to collapse that content down and make it easier and quicker to deliver. LinkedIn will keep changing, maybe not as fast as every breath we take. We have to pay attention to the application. We have to understand how to use it as it changes so we can get the greatest value from this business tool. I'm Teddy Burris, your LinkedIn consultant, coach, and trainer, and I hope these ideas are helpful for you.